Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I will be telling you a few things that you need to remember before going for your clinical examination. So on the day of your examination, a few things that I really want you to remember. I've been noting down a few things, and I'll be just taking you through the official guidelines that AMC have provided for clinical examination, and I really want you guys to take a note of all these things before giving your online clinical examination. So let's not keep it longer. Let's get started. So once you book your examination, you will get a piece of letter like this, and this is your placement letter. So there you will have your candidate number, the day your exam is being booked, and what platform the exam is. So the past year in 2024 was all online exam. So you'll have the reporting time, and few things that you need to remember is that you need to log on to your device and join to the Zoom link that is being provided in your portal, that is via the safe browser, about which we talked in a previous video of technological requirements. I request you guys to watch that if you haven't watched that yet, to get an idea about what technological requirements are there for the exam. And then you will need to join the waiting room there, and as I've mentioned there previously, it might take some time for them to admit you into the examination room and do the security and other ID verifications before you can sign in and start your examination. Now, all candidates must sign in at the required time properly. So make sure that you are there at least 5 minutes before 9 a.m. Make sure you log on to your Zoom account. Now, another thing that I want you to remember is you should have your ID. So that's basically your passport, and you should also have your the hall ticket. That's something that you get about a week before your exam. Take a printout of that, and you need both of them at each station, because they're going to ask you to show your verification card, which is I'll just show you my verification card. It was just your photo and your I'm sorry for that disturbance. Yeah. So it's just a photo of yours with ID number that you will need to show. So this was my card. So like that, you'll have to show it in front of the camera, and then they'll ask you to read out your number, read out your name, and then they might also ask you for a passport. Showing your passport at the beginning, if I remember, and then you can go about your exam. So make sure you have your ID, and that your environment check is all approximately appropriately done. Now, your online examination, including the initial sign-in process, your ID checking that I told you about, and your environment check, everything in a total will take about 7.5 duration. So that means you are doing 16 stations, 8 minutes each. That doesn't mean that your exam is going to get over by 3 or 4 hours. It is going to be a very long examination, right? So your exam starts at 9 a.m. You log into your Zoom account at 8:55. They put you in by 9 a.m. And the initial 15 minutes is when they will, the time is just for you to be placed into the waiting room, and just to coordinate the entire process, where all the examinees, all of us get into the pool. And then from 9 to 9:40, we will be put into different rooms where they verify us, they do the environment check, and they also show us a candidate briefing video. After that, by 10 a.m., they will put you into different questions or different stations, and that's when the exam starts. Now, around 12:30 to 1 p.m., 30 to 40 minutes of lunch break would be there, which will be supervised by an invigilator. You can take your bathroom breaks at that time, and even if you get any rest stations during this examination time, you can go to the bathroom at that point as well. I've already mentioned details about that in my previous video about clinical examination. And then it would be around 4:40 when your examination ends. And so after your lunch break, again, your examination starts. So like from 1 p.m., your examination restarts, and you'll have the rest of the stations that is needed to complete the 20 set of stations, including the 4 rest stations. And then by 4:40, your examination ends, and the invigilator says goodbye, all the best for your exam. You'll get your results 3 weeks after your exam date on the Friday, and then it's a bye-bye, and time for a party. So that's how the schedule for your examination goes, and have this in your mind, because your examination is not going to be 3 or 4 hours, because it's not just you who's doing the exam. It's a group of students who's going to give the exam. So it's going to be about 7.5 hours long. So whatever few things I'm going to show you today, they're taken from the clinical examination specifications April 2024. I'm not sure if the latest revised specification book has come out yet, but if it has, please do let me know in the comment section. And also, please make sure you read through the latest. But I think moreover, the things that they convey would be the same. So let's get started with it. Now, a few things you need to remember before your examination. In your AMC candidate portal, you might have given your address and your phone number. Make sure it's up to date. If you have your phone number changed, please do let them know that prior to, because they might have to contact you in case there is any technological error and your phone number is the only mean by which they can communicate, right? So make sure your details are all up to date. Second thing, you must be there in your account, log into your Zoom account at the right time. Please do not delay. No excuse with that, okay? And your dressing. A lot of people were asking me, what should you wear for your exam? Well, it's just a professional attire. You can wear whatever dress, but it should be professional, right? So there's no hard and fast rule that it should be black or it should be always a coat. Nothing like that. Nothing like it should always be a blazer. So it can be anything, but make sure it's a professional look that you're giving for your exam. And dress smart, dress well. Okay. And then if you need any special assistance, like if you need to take any medications or any food in between, you need to alert your invigilator prior to for those special assistance, right? Now, once you start your examination, that is on logging into the examination link that you have in your safe web browser, when you open your candidate portal through the safe web browser, you get into the Zoom, you have an initial waiting period, and then they get you into the examination, and you will be welcomed by the exam coordinator initially. Now, this coordinator is going to do all the ID verifications, your security and your environment check. They ask you to turn your camera and show your entire room to see if it's all, clean according to the requirements for the exam. And they will also ask you to show you extra pairs of earphones and all those requirements that are needed. And then they will also provide the exam conditions for you, some things that you need to know, and they take some verbal consents from you that all the examination that is being conducted is really private and all those things. And then they will also show you a candidate briefing video about the examination. After that, you will be moved to their starting station where you will have an invigilator, right? So after all these check, which nearly takes about an hour, so by 10 when your examination starts, and if you're first, they'll put you into your first station, which could be starting from any question. So your first station sometimes can be station 5. So if you might have seen my previous video, my first station wasn't station 1. My first station started with 5 or 6 station. So that can happen, but whenever you put into that particular station, initially you will have an invigilator, and this invigilator will ask you to show your hall ticket, and they will re-verify your name, re-verify your number, and they'll tell, now this is a 2 minutes reading time, and then you will have the question on screen. You have the 2 minutes, and once your 2 minute ends, they will say you can start the station. You will also have some prompts in blue that comes onto the screen. So that's how the examination goes, each and every station. Now, a second notification will indicate the start of your examination, where they'll say you can begin your examination now, and the candidates will then commence the station. Now, most stations, so your station is going to be 8 minutes plus 2 minutes reading time. A final notification will conclude the end of the station. So at the end of 8 minutes of your station, even if you're running out of time, your examiner comes and they will say that is the end of your station. So that's how the second notification comes and your station is ended. Your final notification comes and that concludes your station. After that, you will be moved to your rest or a breakout station until the next station starts. They'll put you into a common pool where you can see all of your friends together there. And then immediately they will either put you into the break station, if it is a break station for you, or they can put you into the next question. So that's how they take turns, and they put you into a different pool of different stations to do your exam, or another station to take your break. Now, some candidates will start at a rest station and will be required to stay in that rest station for the first 10 minutes. Sometimes your question 1 could be a rest station. That's okay. Sit back, relax, and if you want to take a bathroom break at that 10 minutes of time, and then your session might be starting only with your question 2. So that can happen. Be aware of that. And the invigilator will advise if this is the case. If you're moved into a break station, the invigilator will come onto the screen and they'll say, "Hi, doctor, you've been put into a break station. Please sit back and relax. After 10 minutes, you will be put into another station where your examination would start. Right, so it's a 10-minute break session because it's equivalent to the time where your other friends are doing their exam stations. Okay, now after your first notification that this is your reading time, the 2 minutes reading time that you get, you should plan your time, taking into account the number and the type of tasks that you have, including if there is any time guidelines that is given, meaning any prompt time if it is given at all. Now you should pay close attention to the time guidelines that are being provided. Sometimes there will be a prompt of 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, so be careful of that. And even before your station starts, you will have a section that says that this particular station will be having a prompt time at 8 minutes or a prompt time at 6 minutes, and that will give you an idea if it's a physical examination station or a history station. So be very careful about all these time guidelines. During your station, you can conduct your interactions, talk with your patients, and perform whatever clinical task that has been designated for you to do. Now, the examination will proceed through all the stations in this very same manner. You will be just rotated through every stations, and it's just the same pattern that happens. Even if you end the station before, you're still going to stay in that station. You're not going to move to another station. You will only be moved to the next station or the common pool to be put into the next stations only at 10 minutes. At the end of 10 minutes, which includes the 2 minutes reading time, or at the end of the 8 minutes, speaking time that you have with your patient. So one recommendation that I would like to tell you is you have 8 minutes time, you're paying around $4,000 for this exam, utilize each and every minute. Please do not sit quiet, not talking out, just think loud, just talk whatever you want to the patient. Utilize the entire 8 minutes time that you have to talk to your patient, which is the only basis with which you will be scored for your exam by the examiner. So keep talking until your timer goes out. So this is what I just mentioned about finishing early. Now, if you finish a station early, this doesn't mean that you have done well or failed, nothing like that. Trust me, guys, I did have one station, which is a station of limping. I remember very well that I finished the station pretty early, and I was totally blank. I did not have anything more to speak. I explained the X-ray really well. I mean, I don't know if it's really well, but I explained it to the most of what I could. I did ask the mother for every details. I did explain the diagnosis. I did talk about all the differences, and still I had time. But when I got my results, that was the station where I got 7 for my approach to my patient and everything. I got really good scores for that. So that probably substantiates the sentence. So like, even if you finish early, that doesn't mean you have done well or failed. It all depends upon what key points you delivered for the exam. But if you still have things in your brain, obviously do spit them out. I was totally blank when that station came at the end. I did have time. So it doesn't matter. There are a lot of people who telling me the same thing again. So like, they were asking me, I finished my station pretty early. Does that mean I'll fail? No, it doesn't mean you'll fail. You might finish your station early if you speak faster. Maybe if you've talked all the key points, you might finish early, but that doesn't mean you're going to fail, neither pass. So it solely depends on how you presented it and what key points you presented. So that's fine. Okay. Now it merely means that the task has been completed ahead of the allotted time. It doesn't have any please don't keep any magical thinking that you'll pass your station or you'll fail your station if you finish things up early. Now, candidates who complete a station before allocated time will have to wait until the 8 minutes have concluded, and you will be taken out only after that time. They may return to the task at any time before assessment task time is completed. No. So for example, that means that if you reached your second task or you skipped your second task and you did your third task, you still have time. You went blank, you're thinking what else to say, but then you remember, oh my God, I skipped my second task. But as long as you're within the 8 minutes time window, you can go back and talk about the second question again if you skipped. Not the likely scenario, because we will look into the question and we will manage our time. But even if that happens, you have 8 minutes of time to come back and talk whatever you want, but not after that. Now, regarding the stations that we have, it could be actual patients, it could be a simulated patient, sometimes it could be video patient presentation. So this is what's given in the specification book, but I do not yet know that if anybody have got the video patient presentation. I don't think that's something that's happened with AMC in the online examination. But if you guys do know anybody have got any video presentations, please do mention in the comment section so that I'll get an idea about that as well. Now, other relevant materials like any charts, digital images, and photographs can also be used for your examination. Now, with regards to the physical examination, now it's going to be a 10-minute station. regarding this 5 minutes time where they've been telling about a 1 minute reading time and 4 minute station. I'm not aware of such stations, but please do enlighten me if there's something that you guys have come across. According to what I know about, you will have a 10-minute station for physical examination, 2 minutes reading time, and 8 minutes to talk about the physical examination. Or you can have hybrid cases where still you will have a 2 minutes reading time, but in the 8 minutes time, it will include the initial 4 minutes to take history and the rest of the 4 minutes to do the physical examination. Or maybe the initial 6 minutes to do the physical examination and the rest of the 2 minutes to give the differential diagnosis and diagnosis. So that can come. So that's what I call a hybrid question. But I'm not sure if there has been ever a physical examination station that comes with 1 minute reading time and 4 minute station, because all your stations have to be 10 minutes, which includes 2 minutes reading time and 8 minutes performance time, and the 8 minutes performance time can vary. Like it could be hybrid or a solely physical examination station. I'm not aware what exactly this 5 minutes and 1 minute reading time is, but if you guys know about that, please let me know in the comment section. With the rest stations, that's going to be supervised, as I previously mentioned, and you'll have an invigilator on your screen and they'll say, hi doctor, this is your break station. If you want to take a bathroom break, you can go to the bathroom, but please be back within 5 minutes. And after you're back, I will again perform the security check. I'll ask you to show your hall ticket and we can continue with your rest stations. And this rest station is going to be 10 minutes. So this is what they're going to tell to you. You are permitted to leave your rest stations to attend the bathroom, but make sure you come back within 5 minutes. Candidates must advise invigilator should they wish to attend the bathroom. So you need to tell your invigilator if you're moving from your chair, because please don't get yourself disqualified by doing things without letting the invigilator know. Now, if the candidate do not require to use the bathroom, they're required to remain in the room in front of the camera and they will be continuously supervised by the invigilator. Sometimes the invigilator will tell you, I'm going to keep my cameras off, but I'll still be monitoring you. So it's just going to be you on the screen. Your invigilator's camera will be off, but they will be continuously monitoring you. Now, candidates may finish their examination at a rest stations and will be required to wait until the final notification sound before being allowed to conclude their examination. Now, the final notification, the bell of relief, as I say for it. Now, when the examination is finished, you will get a notification. Like they'll say your exam is concluded. You will have an invigilator on your screen and they'll say, thank you, doctors. Your examination is over. All the best. And your examination results will come 3 Fridays after your exam, 3 weeks after your exam date on a Friday. And they will tell you, you can now log out of your examination. So like, I still remember we were all still in awe. Like our exam got finished pretty early and we were like, should I log out? Is the examination over? Should I really log out? So we were like confused, but please do double check before you log out your examination because yeah, it's a very costly examination that you're doing. But at the end, your invigilator will give you a notification that your exams are over and that you can log out of your examination. And then it's party time, guys. Now, very important, guys, prohibited materials. No textbooks, no notes, no jewelry, tie pins, or any other materials are allowed into the examination room, including any recording devices or no watches and no handbags. So keep your room clean. I still remember I just had this ring in my finger and they asked me, do you have any jewelry? So I said, no, I have nothing. I did not even put my earrings because, you know, you always have your headphones on. But I said, I just have this ring, which they asked me to remove and keep it outside my room. So I did do that. So make sure you do not put any over jewelries or anything because they're going to ask you to remove it. And you're also not permitted to write any prompting materials in your skin, so don't write anything on your skin as well. Now, with regards to your phone, please do have your phone, keep them behind on your bed, and it should be in your silent mode, not vibration mode, because that's the only means of communication. If you have any technical issues, you will be required to show your invigilator that the phone is switched to silent and it's kept behind you so that they can see it as well. Only one phone is to be in the examination room. So for me, they asked me to keep it behind because I had a bed and they could see that, but they will advise you where to keep your mobile phones. Now, then they will do all the security check and everything, and they will tell you what is necessary, what specifically that you need to do if you have to make some changes in your room. As I mentioned previously, if you're someone who needs to take your medications and you need to keep your medications with you for your exam, please do mention it to your invigilator at the beginning itself. And that means before your examination starts, please keep them aware that I'm going to have your medications with me and this medications is for whatever use, because they need to know. They need to know that you're not taking anything, anything unwanted for your examination. So yeah. Now, these are a few things that I remember, a few equipments that you need to have. If there's anything that I've missed out and that you guys remember of, please do mention in the comment section. So, it will be helpful for others as well. But according to my memory, you obviously need the hall ticket that I showed you. You do need the passport, if I remember it right. Quite having a bad memory for that, but I think you need the passport because you need to show your ID verifications. So yeah, you need them. And then keep few papers and pens, a glass and water. That's especially important because if you get an MSc question, obviously you need to show an object, you need to make them write on a paper, show them, ask them to do a task. So all these things becomes important, so have them with you. Your lunch and your snacks, it can be kept ready early up in the morning itself, or maybe you can go take them during your lunch break, but please don't stay away from your chair for more than 5 minutes. That's why I would recommend you to have everything on your table itself. Your mobile, but in silent, no vibration, kept behind you. Remove all the extra decorations that you have in your room. Cover, if at all there's any extra computers, cover them with white cloth, but preferably remove them from your room to avoid confusions and stresses on the day of your exam. Cover the cupboard with a white cloth. Like for example, if it's a transparent cupboard and you can see all the books and or maybe all the trophies that you got, and if it's visible, cover it with a white cloth. But if it's all a covered cupboard, that's not going to be an issue. And please do have your extra pair headsets and dongles also ready. Now, a few things that AMC wants you to do while you're planning for examination. So, yeah. You need to review and practice your clinical skills well, get a good night's rest before your exam, and avoid any use of stimulants or any other drugs. And that's why they ask you to show if you're taking any medications or you require any medications for your exam. That's why they ask you to show it to the invigilator prior to, because see, they don't want you to use any stimulants or drug for your exam. Now, read your placement letter carefully and note all the times, time that is that where time specifically when examination happens and what step happens at the next time. So be aware about all that and ensure that you arrive or you attend your examination at the proper time and give yourself time to settle down before the examination commences. Now, if you are traveling interstate, that's basically for people who are giving offline examination, that if you have to move to another place, or even if you're doing an online examination and you need to move to another place, ensure that they check in interstate time differences and allow extra time in case of flights delayed or travel time between airport and the city. So in my case, I would say, guys, so I'm whichever place that you are from in. So like if you're in India, Australian time and Indian time is different. So be aware of when your examination starts because of the time zones and the changes that you will have if you're giving your examination from overseas. Now, during and after your examinations, carefully read all those data that is supplied, especially taking a note about whatever task that's given, and also to do all those tasks perfectly. Do not overlook the fact that there may be simulated or real patients in your clinical examination. Your examiners will take note of the manner in which a candidate addresses and deals with your patient. So even if it's a simulated patient, you don't care. Just see them as your patient and talk to them. Okay. Now, avoid discussing patients with other candidates who may attend the clinical examination in the future because patients are rotated, and in some cases alternative conditions are examined in patients with multiple clinical signs. Any candidate who attempts to formulate a diagnosis or management on the basis of the information provided by other candidates without having seen the patient themselves is likely to compromise their assessment. So guys, you might get recalls, but don't trust your recalls blindly. Build in your knowledge. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching this video patiently. So these are few things that I remember that you do need for your examination on the day of your clinical examination. Few things that I remembered and made a note of. But if there is anything more that you guys have to add on to it, please do mention it up in the comment section. So it's going to be helpful for everyone else who's going to see this video, and will also help me remember what exactly happened for my exam. Because on the day of your exam, you just do stress that you might forget a lot of things. But these are the things I just wanted to share with you guys. And all the best for your examination. And please do like, subscribe, and share for more videos. Bye bye. Take care.